The following story about the unfaithful dentist will make you pay closer attention to your personal relationships. Also, please like and subscribe to help in the channel's growth. At 25 years old, Isabella was living her dream of owning her own dental clinic. Her boyfriend, Pedro, had been her biggest supporter during college, helping her pay tuition with his hard work. Despite her love for Pedro, Isabella couldn't resist the temptation when a male model, Gustavo, entered her office for a routine consultation. Gustavo was an attractive and confident man, with a dazzling smile that caught the attention of every woman. He shamelessly flirted with Isabella during the consultation, complimenting her beauty and professional skills. Isabella, who had always considered herself a faithful and dedicated woman, was enchanted by Gustavo's attention. Unable to control her desires, Isabella betrayed Pedro with Gustavo in the clinic's office. She knew it was wrong, but the guilt and remorse were not enough to prevent her from committing the act again. Isabella convinced herself that her relationship with Pedro was just a phase, and that she deserved to live out her fantasies. Pedro, who had sacrificed so much for Isabella, was devastated when he discovered the betrayal. He couldn't believe the woman he loved so much had betrayed him in this way. Pedro felt betrayed, deceived, and humiliated. Despite the pain, Pedro decided to confront Isabella about her actions. He demanded to know why she had done this to him, after everything they had been through together. Pedro questioned if his love was not enough, if he had failed as a boyfriend. Isabella, ashamed and remorseful, tried to apologize, but Pedro was too hurt to accept her apologies. He cried, yelled, and begged for answers, but Isabella had no convincing justifications for her actions. After many tears and discussions, Pedro realized that his love for Isabella was greater than his pain. He decided to forgive her and give their relationship another chance, on the condition that she never betrayed him again. Pedro knew it would be a difficult path, but he was willing to fight for their relationship. He demanded that Isabella cut all ties with Gustavo and commit to being faithful to him. Isabella promised never to betray Pedro again and swore that her mistake would not be repeated. She committed to working on their relationship and valuing the man who loved her unconditionally. Isabella knew she needed to prove her remorse and rebuild the trust she had broken. To help them overcome the betrayal, Pedro and Isabella decided to seek couples therapy. They knew they needed professional help to deal with the emotional wounds and rebuild their relationship. During the sessions, they openly discussed their feelings, fears, and expectations. The therapist helped them understand the roots of the problem and develop strategies to rebuild trust and intimacy. Pedro and Isabella worked hard to overcome the betrayal. They communicated better, spent more time together, and made efforts to rebuild the emotional connection they had lost. Despite the ups and downs, they were determined to make their relationship work. Months later, Isabella betrayed Pedro again, this time with another patient, Lucas, in her office. She couldn't control her impulses and her lack of respect for her relationship with Pedro. Lucas was a successful businessman with an irresistible charm. He flirted with Isabella during the consultations, complimenting her work and appearance. Isabella, who had not yet fully dealt with her temptations, succumbed once more. When Pedro discovered the second betrayal, he was devastated. He couldn't understand how Isabella could do this to him again, after everything they had been through. Pedro fell into a deep depression, unable to cope with the pain and betrayal. Isabella tried to apologize and beg for Pedro's forgiveness, but this time he was not willing to forgive her. He realized that his love for her was not enough to overcome her repeated infidelities. Pedro demanded that Isabella choose between their relationship and her clinic. He could no longer trust her, and was not willing to live with the constant worry of being betrayed again. Isabella, realizing she had lost the man she loved, was devastated. She tried to argue that her betrayal did not mean she did not love Pedro, but he was not convinced. Isabella had broken their trust once, and then twice. There was no going back. Pedro and Isabella's relationship came to an end, leaving them both heartbroken. Pedro struggled with depression, while Isabella had to deal with the consequences of her actions. She realized too late that she had lost the man who truly loved her. Without Pedro by her side, Isabella began to lose focus in her clinic. She easily got distracted, made mistakes in procedures, and lost patients. Her reputation began to suffer, and soon her clinic went into decline. Isabella tried to concentrate on her work to overcome her pain, but it was futile. She felt empty and purposeless. Her dream of having a successful clinic had turned into a nightmare. The story of Isabella and Pedro serves as a reminder that betrayal can destroy relationships, even the strongest ones. Although forgiveness is possible, it takes hard work to rebuild trust and mutual respect. Isabella learned the hard way that her actions have consequences. She had lost the man who truly loved her in her clinic, all because of her inability to control her impulses and respect her relationship. The lesson Isabella learned is that true love is a rare and precious thing. She realized she had wasted her chance at happiness with Pedro, and that now she had to live with the consequences of her choices. What are your thoughts on this story? Comment here below, and don't forget to follow for more videos like this one.